Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. We begin with the weather. As you know, we had snow starting your morning commute, and that snow slowly pushed away around midday on Friday. Now let's see what the rest of the weather will bring for this weekend. With more on that, let's listen to meteorologist Kevin Skruba with the weather forecast.
Last of the snowfall as we record this for you just before the noon hour. Some of the totals coming in. We could see a small jump in these numbers, maybe by a half inch or an inch in some locations, and this is just a sampling of what we have. We have continued to gradually update a lot of these up on our website, WMUR.com, so check those out through the afternoon as we continue to update those. There is the last of the snowfall pulling away for central and southern areas. I suspect that the North Country is going to see a few more inches of snow from what you see back out to our west through western parts of New York later on this afternoon and into this evening, where they could see an additional couple of inches to maybe 3 in a few places. You can see Futurecast pointing at that, while for central and southern areas, skies are clearing later on tonight. It's going to set up a bright and breezy day for us on Saturday. If you're headed outdoors, you got the Concord Christmas Parade going on. Temperatures are expected to start the day in the 20s to near 30 degrees. There will be a breeze to go along with that, but temperatures in the afternoon above 40, even with the breeze and a good deal of sunshine. That'll feel pretty good. That'll also allow for a little bit of subtle melting to go on, maybe on your back porch or your driveway if there's any leftover ice right on the edges. Beyond that, it is fair skies into Saturday evening. Temperatures in the 20s, some teens up north. And you'll notice on Sunday, we'll call it partly sunny. There will be the risk of a shower later in the day or into Sunday evening as a front approaches. Could be a few areas of light snow with that. Once that moves away on Monday, a storm-free forecast for most of the very busy travel week across the area. Again, you're going to notice that the lion's share of any additional accumulation is mainly focused up in elevation and farther north. Northern half of the state, a scattered inch in the foothills, and then a little bit more as you get north of the notches. There is a look at your 7-day forecast. And again, we get rid of the lingering light snow tonight and early tomorrow. A few flurries still lingering up in the mountains through the weekend, but it is anywhere from the mid-30s to mid-40s tomorrow to 30s on Sunday, and 30s the rule going forward. A little bit of light snow Sunday night, maybe a few snow showers Tuesday.
Okay, and that is your weather forecast from meteorologist Kevin Skruba. And now let's take a look at the roadways and see what your evening commute will be looking like on your ride home from work. And by the way, we have 129 closings and delays for this evening. Now let's take a look at your traffic and see how your evening ride home is looking like. And here's a look at your traffic for this evening. We're seeing a lot of yellow and red roadways and a lot of green roadways as well, all spread out across New Hampshire. A lot over in this section and some over in this section and over in this section as well. Just take your time and you'll get home eventually. And temps will be dropping, so anything left on those roadways overnight will freeze up. So take it easy on the roadways tomorrow as well. If we get any major traffic incidents, we will bring it to you right here on the Riley King Network. Deaths of husband, wife, and Hooksett determined to be murder-suicide. A Hooksett man shot and killed his wife before killing himself, investigators said Friday. The bodies of Diane and Donald McClellan were found Thursday afternoon in their home at 39 Post Road. Police said a handwritten will was sitting out in the room where the bodies were found. Officials from the Attorney General's office said autopsies showed that Diana McCline, 68, died of a gunshot wound to the head, and her death was determined to be a homicide. Donald McCline, 58, died of a gunshot wound to the head, and his death was determined to be suicide, officials said. Officials said the investigation is continuing, but no further information is expected to be released while toxicology tests are being completed. Scattered spinouts reported on snow-covered roads across New Hampshire. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Andy Hirschberger.
The snow started on Thursday night and stretched right through the morning commute. There were crashes, there were delays, the stuff that goes along with the first statewide storm of the season.
Most of it is just driving too fast. It's the first snowfall of the year, obviously, and people just have to get used to it. There's also, people don't have the snow tires on their cars yet. That's also a contributing factor, but mostly just the speed itself.
There were plenty of school cancellations and the ride to work was slow. Most knew what was in store for them when they hit the road.
You know, it wasn't bad, but just recently the road started to get a little bit worse, not as clear. But other than that, if you're just doing the speed limit, it's fine. It really is.
That speed limit was lowered to 45 on state highways as plows worked to get ahead of the storm.
I think your crews did a great job. Great job. We got a transition right now. It was rain 20 miles south of here. It's just hard rain and 36 degrees. It dropped to about 29 here. So we'll get there.
I think the highway's done a pretty good job of sanding and clearing things. I mean, people are driving cautiously.
As it looked like the worst of the storm had moved through by mid-morning, police began preparing for the evening trip home.
Right now, the crashes that we have and the vehicles off the road have dropped considerably. So right now we're in a lull, and let's just hope that it stays that way.
Yes, this is a lull, giving crews a chance to push this snow back, make things clear, because as you know, it is the middle of November and more of this stuff is going to be on the way. Putting live in Manchester, I'm Andy Hirschberger, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report from Andy Hirschberger. Granite Staters clear snow after first widespread storm of the season. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
Dr. Robert Marshall and the team at Aesthetic Dental Center have been changing people's lives since 1979.
In the early morning hours, the streets of Henniker were deserted, except for those tasked with cleaning up after the storm. The snowstorm dumped anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of snow in the town. But unfortunately for those clearing it away, it wasn't just snow they had to deal with.
It's starting to rain and drizzle, so it's making it heavier and heavier. So I figured get out early, get it done, and be done with it.
Marshall Connor and his tractor were working hard to clear his driveway, the tractor providing visual evidence that this was not an easy job.
It doesn't like wet snow, but it seems to be handling this okay. It's heavy if you see the black smoke.
Throughout the morning, plows continued to push back what the overnight storm had left behind. But it wasn't all work. The storm just what these dogs ordered, and there were other fans as well.
I love winter. I don't like the hot weather. I like the cold weather. I love snowmobiling, and the dog loves the snow, so It's just a lot more fun to me.
I don't remember getting a dump like this early.
Not all the leaves were gone at Pat's Peak ski area, but this storm couldn't have come at a better time.
It's just capped off a couple of wonderful days of snowmaking. We've had some great temperatures for the man-made stuff, and this natural stuff will accent it amazingly.
Now you can see some kids out here in the park enjoying their day off from school. As for the ski area, it's tentatively scheduled to open the day after Thanksgiving, and most residents here believe it will be a white Thanksgiving. It's kind of tough to argue with them. Reporting live in Henniker, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. A white Thanksgiving, that would be a good one this year. Car crashes through front window of liquor store in Pittsfield. Let's take a look at the video. Okay, that is video from that car crashing into the window of that liquor store. A car crash Friday morning through the front of the window of the New Hampshire Liquor and Wine Outlet in Pittsfield. The crash occurred at 8:30 a.m. Officials said the driver lost control while on the hill beside the store. No one was injured. The store will be closed for the rest of the day as officials assess the damage. And as you know, we reported this morning on the Riley King Newscast, New York City and New Jersey was a travel nightmare last night because of the snowstorm. New York City snowstorm response. What happened? Let's take a listen to this video from Eyewitness News, ABC 7 in New York.
For the gym this month, I thought you don't get paid till next week. I'm using the Earnin app. I can cash out up to $500 this week from my paycheck.
Right. What are the fees, though?
There's no fees, no interest. Seriously. I just tip whatever I think is fair, and the money hits my account instantly.
Seriously? That's awesome.
Hey, man, what app is that?
It's the Earnin app. I don't get paid till next week, so it lets me cash out $100 instantly.
What? That's crazy.
With Earnin, you can cash out as soon as you clock out, with no interest or fees.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says the city was caught off guard by the punch this storm ended up delivering. And now officials are looking to determine what went wrong and what adjustments they need to now make to prevent the city from being paralyzed by future storms. Eyewitness News reporter Dave Evans joining us live from Lower Manhattan with more. Dave.
David, hindsight is always 20/20. The mayor this morning said had he known that the storm was going to be this bad, he would have told commuters to leave their cars at home to take mass transit into the city on Thursday. That did not happen. So everyone was trying to leave the city in their cars and trucks at the same time yesterday afternoon, right as the storm hit. And that was just one of many, many problems. No one was prepared for last night's storm. No, not even the mayor.
It was horrible. I am upset the way everyone else is upset. I was out in the middle of the traffic, stuck with everyone else.
We got much more snow than predicted. This early in the season, trees packed with snow came down, and traffic, it was backed up for hours.
I'll tell you something, you know, they have to put salt on the street.
I don't think the city was prepared. I think maybe they didn't get the salt down.
But we now know the biggest problem was the George Washington Bridge. It was shut down during the storm, and that created a cascade of problems.
But when that happened, everything came to a standstill. The FDR, the West Side, the Bruckner, the Cross Bronx, the Deegan.
Today, the sanitation commissioner explained That's why we didn't see many plows last night. Traffic was simply that bad.
We had been on all of those highways and ended up trapped with all of the other drivers.
But couldn't they have salted the streets more or gotten more plows positioned earlier? Well, perhaps. The mayor is now looking for some answers.
We got just about every form of bad luck we could have gotten yesterday. The weather service reports changed radically.
And the mayor had planned on being in Washington, D.C. today, but he had to cancel that trip because of the snowstorm. He is now at City Hall going over everything with his top staff and also commissioners. We are going to hear more from the mayor this afternoon at 3 o'clock at City Hall. We'll keep you posted.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Traffic nightmare. And if you live in New York City, let us know if you were stuck in that traffic nightmare. We want to hear from you. Comment below the video and let us know. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock markets and see how your U.S. stock markets closed for this Friday evening. And here's a look at the stock markets for all of you. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. US 10-year closed in the red and went down. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VX closed in the red and went down. Stocks post steep weekly losses as Facebook, Amazon, and Apple shares struggle. Stocks posted sharp weekly losses on Friday after a strong downturn in technology shares. Trump says he finished answering questions from special counsel. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
It's not. Get 6 months free Apple Music on the network you deserve. Now buy one of our best phones and get one on us.
My lawyers aren't working on that. I'm working on that. I write the answers. My lawyers don't write answers. I write answers. I was asked a series of questions. I've answered them very easily. Very easily. I'm sure they're tricked up because, you know, they like to catch people. Gee, you know, was the weather sunny or was it rainy? He said it may have been a good day. It was rainy. Therefore, he told a lie. He perjured himself. Okay, so you have to always be careful when you answer questions with people that probably have bad intentions. But, no, it's, the questions were very routinely answered by me. By me. Okay?
Special counsel.
Through the special counsel, yeah.
And you submitted the answers?
I haven't submitted them yet. I just finished them. As you know, I've been a little bit busy. We've been in Europe. We've been working on various deals. We just finished the USMCA. If you look at that deal, which is one of the great trade deals, you'll see. I mean, you can see how happy our farmers are. We've done a lot of work in the last period of time, so we've been very busy. It's been very, very hard to find time. But it didn't take very long to do them, and they were my answers. I don't need lawyers to do that. Now, you need lawyers for submittal. You need lawyers to go over some of the answers. But they're not very difficult questions. Okay? Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday night. I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.